Hey, what's up everybody? It's Jonathan from OT for Tech, and in this video we're going to be taking a look at a Bluetooth keyboard that's a great affordable alternative to the more expensive ones on the market to date. And this is going to work for your Windows, your OS X, your iOS, or even your Android device. It comes from a company named Inateck, and the model number is BK1003E, and of course it is a Bluetooth keyboard as I previously mentioned, and the reason why I give you the model number is because they actually have a different version, and you want this one as it's a little bit more intuitive. It retails for $26.99 and you can get it on Amazon. I'll link it in the description below. Taking the lid off the box, you can see the very first thing you're greeted with is the Bluetooth keyboard itself, and it's just sprawled out there in plain sight, not hiding behind anything. Underneath that, you'll find a rectangular box, and inside that box, you're gonna find your micro USB to standard USB charging cable. Now, they don't include a wall wart, which is okay, because you can plug it into your computer and it will do the same thing. Taking the plastic off the keyboard, you can see an instruction manual did slide out there, and this is gonna give you a basic overview of what the buttons do, where you can find the ports and things like that. Just a quick glance at the front of the keyboard, you can see there's really nothing fancy about the button layout. However, the construction consists of a black matte plastic on the front, and this includes the buttons themselves, so it's going to give you some extra grip for underneath your fingertips. On the right hand side is the micro USB port for charging with a red indicator light, which will turn green once it's fully charged, and you'll be using the cable that I showed you in the very beginning. You can either pair this up with a wall wart that you might have laying around the house, or simply just plug it into your computer. There's an indicator light on the top front right hand side, and this turns green when you power on the keyboard. A blue blinking light indicates that it's searching for a Bluetooth compatible device, and a solid blue light indicates that the caps lock is on. Flipping the keyboard over, you're going to find two rubberized feet at the top, and that's to make sure that the keyboard remains stationary wherever you put it. Towards the left hand side, closest to the left hand sided rubberized foot, you're going to find the on and off switch for the keyboard. Moving on down to the bottom, all you're going to find is two more rubberized feet. Now, one thing that's really awesome about this keyboard is the fact that it remains very thin and lightweight without losing any of its premium feeling. With that being said, it does feature a brushed steel backing, and it feels awesome and it looks awesome, much more premium even than the Apple keyboard. But with that being said comes the negative part about having a brushed steel backing, and that's the fact that it is a fingerprint magnet, so you can expect to get some fingerprint smudges and smears when pulling and putting this thing in and out of your bag. Of course, depending on the surface that you put the keyboard on, you're going to get some excellent stability with the use of the rubberized feet that I previously mentioned, so no shake or push is going to actually jolt this thing loose, and it's not going to slide off the table. Here's a quick look at it next to the Apple wireless keyboard, and you can see they definitely favor each other in terms of design. Now, whether that's a good thing or a bad thing, I'll let you guys decide, but it's very similar, just a different color if you ask me. The keyboard features a non-removable 280 milliamp battery that of course is rechargeable, and you don't have to worry about it dying on you within a week. Depending on your usage, you should be able to at least get 2 weeks out of this thing. The keyboard pairs with your device using Bluetooth 3.0, and if you're not familiar with Bluetooth 3.0, it's a higher frequency Bluetooth technology that allows you to transmit more data at a faster rate. If you're having a difficult time pairing it to whatever device, you can find the instructions in the manual. However, holding down FN and then pressing the button C, you'll trigger it into the Bluetooth search mode. Key travel time is good, just like you would expect from an Apple keyboard. It's very comfortable. The keys make a very comforting click when they are pressed. Although it is louder than the official Apple keyboards, it's not annoying. Now, just to note, the volume up and down, play, pause, and skip buttons, which all can be found on the keyboard at the very top, work just as you would expect, and I have not had any issues with those buttons at all. In fact, if you hold down the backward skip or the forward skip buttons, you will trigger reverse or fast forward. The keyboard can be used up to 10 meters or 30 feet away from its source. However, I don't find a need to use the keyboard that far away, but if you need to, you have that option. Now, one thing I wish it had was backlit keys, especially when watching a movie and you have the lights turned down. Even though the Apple keyboard doesn't even have this, I really wish that the company would just implement it, but at the price standpoint of this keyboard, I'm definitely not complaining, just making a minor suggestion. It has a built-in power saving feature, so after 10 minutes of inactivity, the keyboard will go to sleep to conserve battery, but a simple push of a key will wake it up. The built-in copy and paste keys are a plus and make for an extremely simple text editing tool, especially since it has a built-in select all button as well, something that the Apple keyboard does not have, but it really should, even though you can accomplish the same thing with a few simple commands. I used it on the iPad Air 2 and it worked pretty well. I just wish it had more selection options, as in you can't really select an app or a cursor standpoint using just the keyboard. It kind of gets annoying when you have to touch the screen repetitively, kind of defeats the purpose if you ask me. Video editing using Final Cut Pro 10 or Premiere was not as easy as I hoped for. For some reason I had a difficult time using the keyboard shortcuts. Maybe it was just an incompatibility issue or possibly an ID10T error on my part. Most shortcuts worked, but there were a few that I had a difficult time with. There's not too much negative I can say about this keyboard. It's built extremely well, has great battery life, and the travel time with the keys is excellent. It works extremely well with the Bluetooth 3.0 connection, and at the price standpoint, you can't beat it. I'll drop a link to it in the description below. If you feel like being awesome, like this video. If you didn't, give me a thumbs down and let me know in the comment section why. Go ahead and subscribe if you're not already subscribed, and follow me on all my social media connections. And of course, I'll catch you guys in the next video.